Good morning students. In this video we are going to see 10 practice problems for the upcoming TNPC Combined Statistical Subordinate Service Exam Part 12. I also request all the aspiring candidates to watch previous 11 videos which you have seen. In each video 10 questions. Now we have moved to Part 12. Question number 1. The probability that a non-leap year which contains 53 Sundays is, or it can be tell the probability that a non-leap year selected at random contains 53 Sundays is. So we know number of days in a non-leap year is equal to 365. Number of days in a week is equal to 7. And 365 days contains 52 weeks and 1 day. The remaining 1 day may be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday or Saturday. So total number of possible outcomes 7. And the number of favorable outcome which should be Sunday. Number of favorable outcomes equal to 1 and probability is equal to 1 by 7. So here the correct option is option B, 1 by 7. We are choosing a non-leap year random at random which should contain 53 Sundays. So we can move to the next problem, problem number 2. Same problem we have seen for leap year which we got 2 by 7. Probability that a leap year selected at random will contain 53 Sundays. Problem number 2. What is the probability that leap year selected at random contain 53 Sundays or 53 Wednesdays? So we know very well whenever we are having or we are using addition theorem of probability. And we are first defining the event. Let A be the event of getting 53 Sundays. Let B be the event of getting 53 Wednesdays. So we are using the addition theorem of probability formula. Probability of A union B is equal to probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. And probability of A is equal to, what is probability of A? Getting 53 Sundays. We have seen already probability of getting 53 Sundays in a leap year is 2 by 7. And probability of getting 53 Wednesdays in a leap year is also 2 by 7. A intersection B. What is the probability of getting 53 Sundays and 53 Wednesdays? There is no chance. So it is equal to 0. So 2 by 7 plus 2 by 7 is equal to 4 by 7. Here the correct option is option A, 4 by 7. So let us move to the next question. So in question 2 what we have seen, whether we are getting or, then we are using addition theorem of probability. Question number 3. Two dice are thrown simultaneously. What is the probability that the points on the dice multiply the product is 12? So when we are throwing two dice simultaneously, total number of possible outcomes equal to 36. So when we are multiplying, the product should be equal to 12. What are the favorable outcomes? 2, 6, 6, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3. Number of favorable outcomes equal to 6. Probability is equal to 4 by 36. So here none of the above is the correct answer. Option D, none of the above. Question number 4. The idea of posterior probability was introduced by option A, Pascal, option B, Peter and Paul, option C, Thomas Bayes, option D, Carl Pearson. Here the correct answer is option C, Thomas Bayes. We can see about Bayes theorem in the upcoming videos. Let us move to the next question. Question number 5. A box contains 4 white balls, 3 red balls and 3 green balls. 4 balls are drawn at random. What is the probability that there is at least one ball of each color? So here given number of white balls 3, number of red balls 3, number of green balls 3, total number of balls is equal to 10. Out of 10 balls, we are going to take any 4 balls at random. So number of possible outcome 10C4. Out of 10, we are going to take any 4 at random, 10C4. How to find 10C4? Starting from 10, we write decreasing order 4 numbers. 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 divided by 5 into 4 divided by 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So number of possible outcomes 210. What is our favorable outcome? There should be at least one ball of different color. There are totally 3 different colors and there should be one ball of each color. At least one ball of each color. So there are 3 different chances. Totally there should be 4 balls and there should be at least one ball of each color. Totally there are 3 different colors. So there may be 2 white balls, 1 red ball, 1 green ball. Or 1 white ball, 2 red ball, 1 green ball. Or 1 white ball, 1 red ball, 2 green balls. There are 3 different chances. So number of favorable outcomes, we find these three different chances separately. First one, two white balls, 4C2 into 3C1 into 3C1. Second one, two red balls, 4C1 into 3C2 into 3C1. Last one, two green balls, 4C1 into 3C1 into 3C2. So number of favorable outcomes, we get 126. So probability is equal to 126 divided by 210. So let us move to the next problem, question number 6. So here the probability, option C is the correct answer, 126 by 210. If two letters are taken at random from the letter home, what is the probability that none of the letters will be vowels? Option A 1 by 6, option B 1 by 2, option C 1 by 4, option D none of the above. So number of possible outcomes. Out of 4 letters we are going to choose any 2. 4C2. 4C2 is equal to 6. What is our favorable outcome? None of them should be vowel. So there is only one chance. We are going to take any 2 letters from the 4. The 2 letters which should be not vowels. H and M are the only one option. So number of favorable outcome 1. So probability is equal to 1 by 6. Correct answer is option A, 1 by 6. Let us move to the next question. Question number 7. A bag contains 4 red balls, 5 white balls and 6 black balls. So totally how many balls we are having? Totally we are having 15 balls. If 3 balls are taken at random, what is the probability of drawing none of them red ball? So totally we are having 15 balls. Out of them we are going to take any 3. Number of possible outcomes 15C3. How to find 15C3? Starting from 15 we are writing 3 numbers in decreasing order. 15 into 14 into 13. Divided by we are writing 3 factorial, 3 into 2 into 1. Number of possible outcomes 455. What is our favorable outcome? None of them should be red. So we are omitting red color ball. So if you omit red color ball, totally we are having 11 balls. Out of 15 we are omitting the 4 red balls. So balance we are getting 11 balls. Out of 11 we are going to take any 3. 11C3. Number of favorable outcomes 11C3. Starting from 11 we are writing the numbers in decreasing order, 3 numbers. 11 into 10 into 9 divided by 3 into 2 into 1. So number of favorable outcomes 165. So probability is equal to 165 by 455, which is equal to 33 by 91. So the correct option is option C, 33 by 91. Let us move to the next question. Question number 8. The probability of A, B and C hitting the target are given by 1 by 3, 2 by 5 and 4 by 7 respectively. What is the probability that exactly one of them hitting the target is? So P of A is given as 1 by 3. Probability of A hitting the target 1 by 3. Probability of B hitting the target 2 by 5. Probability of C hitting the target 1 by 7. So we find P of A dash. Probability of A not hitting the target is equal to P of A dash is equal to 1 minus P of A. 1 minus 1 by 3, 2 by 3. Probability of B dash is equal to 1 minus P of B. 1 minus 2 by 5 is equal to 3 by 5. Probability of C dash is equal to 1 minus P of C. 1 minus 4 by 7 equal to 3 by 7. What actually we need to find? Probability of exactly one of them hitting the target. Exactly one of them. So there may be 3 different chances. Only A hitting the target, one of the chances. So how we can write that A only hitting the target? Probability of A intersection B dash intersection C dash. Another one chance of B only hitting the target. Probability of A dash intersection B intersection C dash. Another one chance of C only hitting the target. Probability of A dash intersection B dash intersection C. Since they are independent events, we are multiplying them. Probability of A into probability of B dash into probability of C dash. Since they are independent events, we are multiplying them. Then we are going to substitute the values. After substituting, what we do? We multiply the numerator. Don't cancel them. If you cancel them, it will be a very tough thing. So multiply the numerators. So if we are not cancelling, denominator part will be equal. We can solve it easily. So we get answer 45 by 105. Option C is the correct one, 45 by 105. Let us move to the next question. Question number 9. If A and B are any two events given, probability of A is equal to 2 by 3, probability of B is equal to 3 by 8, probability of A intersection B is equal to 1 by 4. Then A and B are, option A, mutually exclusive but not independent. Option B, mutually exclusive and independent. Option C, independent but not mutually exclusive. Option D, not mutually exclusive and not independent. So it is obvious from the question that it is not mutually exclusive, since probability of A intersection B is not equal to 0. Probability of A intersection B is equal to 1 by 4. So it is not mutually exclusive. To check independent, probability of A intersection B should be equal to probability of A into probability of B. So we take the left hand side, probability of A intersection B is given as 1 by 4. Right hand side we are having probability of A into probability of B. We are multiplying them. Probability of A is 2 by 3 and probability of B is 3 by 8. 2 by 3 into 3 by 8, which is equal to 1 by 4. Since left hand side is equal to right hand side, A and B are independent events. So option C is the correct one, independent but not mutually exclusive. Let us move to the 10th question. A coin is tossed 6 times. The probability of getting heads and tails alternatively is. So we are tossing 6 coins simultaneously. So number of possible outcomes equal to 2 power 6, which is equal to 64. 2 we are multiplying 6 times, we get 64 possible outcomes. What is our favorable outcome? Alternatively. So number of favorable outcomes are HT, 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 and another one TH, TH, TT. So number of favorable outcomes equal to 2. So probability is equal to 1 by 32. So the correct option is option A, 1 by 32. So if you like this video, subscribe my channel and share with your friends. Thank you, students.